Hi there and welcome along to another workout for you to row along to. Today is going to be another of these for all levels workouts where I'm going to give you a pacing guide for everyone from beginner to speed junkie. Now what we're going to do today is 10 2-minute intervals with 1 minute rest in between. Now if you're a beginner rower, then I just want you to do this at kind of round about what you'd perceive as a 7 out of 10 effort level. So you're going to be working hard, your breathing rate's going to be up, your heart rate's going to be up, it's going to be a little bit tougher to talk, but you should still feel that you're able to get through the row, and these 1 minute rests are letting you get through this whole 10 times interval thing. Now, if you're going to do this as a bottom tier on the intensity pyramid, then I want you to do this at 24 strokes per minute, but your pace is going to be round about 2k plus 12, okay? So it's going to be up there intensity-wise, but because of these 1 minute rests in between, you're not really going to get pushed by this one too much, so it's just going to give you a little bit of a zing to that bottom tier. Now, if you want to do this as a mid-tier workout, then again, you're at 24 strokes a minute, but your pace is going to be at 2k plus 8. So it's going to start to get tougher. Your breathing is going to be tougher, but it's still not going to push you too hard. However, if you want to do this as a top tier workout, then I want you to do this at 24 strokes per minute, but just try and see how fast you can go at those 24 strokes a minute. Bearing in mind you've only got 1 minute rest in between, and I don't want you to completely tap yourself out and not be able to continue the workout because you've done the first 6 too hard, for instance, all right? So let's get into our 4 minute warm up. Now, as always, we start off by setting up the machine. On the concept 2, you want to start with the drag factor first. If you don't know about drag factor, then please check out the video I have on this YouTube channel. Or if you're using a machine that has just a resistance setting, then in both settings, basically, you want to set it to a point where you get a good solid stroke, but it doesn't feel like you're really having to row a cruise ship down a river, okay? Next up, set your monitor at eye height so you don't have to look up and you don't have to look down. And finally, those foot straps should cover right about the bottom lace in your shoe, or regardless, they should let you get to the front of the machine, shins in vertical, without feeling that you're all kind of bound up at the front. Now, monitor-wise, you will notice I have an iPad strapped to it today, and I will talk about that later. So, 4 minute warm-up, we're going to start this at around about 18 strokes a minute, and your pace is really just going to be, as you start, just the same as a body weight squat. You're not putting too much into this, okay? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Right, so what I mean is you're just putting a light enough pressure that you're connecting with your legs, and you can get the timing right that as you connect your legs to the foot plate, your arms and the handle connect into the flywheel or the water wheel or whatever you're using. And then once you've got that timing right, that's when I want you to start to increase the pressure from your legs. Okay, so once you know you're connecting at the right time, you can just add a bit more of a push from your legs. Now, if you are used to rowing with 2k pacing, then by the time we get 2 minutes into this warm-up, I want you to be rowing at round about 2k plus 20. If you don't know what 2k pace is, then do check out the description to this video. But basically, you row the 2 kilometer time trial, divide the result by 4, and then that gives you your average time to row 500 meters in a 2 kilometer time trial. And that is your 2k training pace. So if your average is 2:03, when I say 2k plus 20, that means 2:23. Right, 20 seconds to go. If you are going for the top tier version today, do not stop to do the single leg drills. Keep on rowing. Everyone else, in 2 strokes, I want you to take 1 foot out of the foot straps. Here we go. And then continue rowing. That one leg still strapped in should now be the one putting in a good solid push, obviously. And you want to make sure you still are putting in that good solid push. The only thing that should change about your stroke here is that you've got 1 foot in the ground. Change feet. Now it might help with your body position as you rock over your hips backwards and forwards, and it might help with your compression at the front of the machine, but you shouldn't be doing anything weird and wacky further than just having one foot on the ground, of course. One more stroke here, both feet in, legs straight, and just row with your back and arms. So you're just swinging over your hips, backwards and forwards, and pulling in your arms to finish, and then out with your arms and back over again. This is a really important drill to teach you how your back works when rowing. 2 more. 1 more. Now let's roll to the front with straight arms and just push out from the front. Maybe just press out from the front, because all we're working on here is that timing of connecting the feet to the hands and also holding that forward lean and keeping those arms straight as you press out from the front. 2 more and 1 more. There we go. Okay, so keep on moving up and down the rail, have a quick drink, make sure that you're hydrated, etc. And I will quickly go over today's session one more time. Okay, so once again, what we're doing today is 10 2-minute intervals with 1 minute rest in between, and you can do them all at 24 strokes per minute. Now for beginner rowers, if you don't have any idea about 2K pacing yet, I just want you to do this at around about 7 out of 10 intensity, which means that you're going to be working hard for these 2 minutes, but then you get 1 minute rest in between. So that's quite nice of me, eh? Bottom tier people, I want you to do this at 24 strokes per minute, but at 2K plus 12, which is probably a little bit easier than I'm suggesting for the beginner rower people, but this is because I want you to keep this as that fitness boosting bottom tier workout. Mid-tier people, well, you're going to be doing this at 2K plus 8, which is probably going to be round about what the beginner people are going to be doing. It's going to be a hard intensity, your breathing and your heart rate's going to be up, but you know you can complete. And then for the speed junkie top tier people, then I want you to just try and see exactly how much pace you can get out of these 2 minute intervals at 24 strokes per minute. But bear in mind, I want you to pace it probably around about that 2K plus 4 region, which means that you should be able to complete the entire session, but it is going to be a really hard workout to get to the end at that pace, okay? I don't want you to go so fast that you have to back right off again because you've exhausted yourself. That's the important part here. So if you're unsure, aim for 2K plus 4 and hold it for all 10 intervals. Okay, so let's get into this. So it's 24 strokes per minute for everybody. We're all starting and stopping at the same time, so that's good. What am I going to go for? I'm going to pick, well, I'm going to try and do the mid tier, the 2K plus 8 pace, okay? So let's see how this one goes. I hadn't really made that decision until literally this second. I'd have thought about this more. Okay then, so here we go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Now, the beauty of 24 strokes a minute is that it's 1 stroke every 2.5 seconds. Well, hang on, I seem to be doing 2K plus 5 right now. Back off. Okay, now I didn't really talk too much technique in the warm-up, so I'll quickly say the important thing here is your power is coming from your legs. So forward lean at the front, straight arms, and push with the legs. You're not pulling from the front. You keep those arms straight so that you're hanging off the handle and letting the power from your legs surge into the machine. And of course, at the back of the stroke, you do pull, but not from the front. So push with the legs. Can really help to think about pushing the machine away from you rather than thinking about pushing yourself backwards. All right, 3 strokes to go. One more. There we go. First one down, so it's definitely at +8. That's definitely hit the mid-tier workout for me, where it's a tough, harder intensity. It's definitely not a walk in the park, but I don't feel like I can't complete it. Let's see how I feel by interval 10. Make sure to drink, especially if you're working out in the heat, which amazingly I am. 1st of June, it's lovely. Okay, next interval starts in 10 seconds time. Give your backside a wiggle to make sure you're comfortable. Pick up your handle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Same thing again. No matter what intensity you've picked today, try to hold it until the end. So for the beginner folks, whatever pace you were just rowing at that you thought was about 7 out of 10 effort level, remember that pace and try to hold it for all of the intervals. Well, tell you what, if you want to sprint that last one, still at 24 strokes a minute, you're allowed to, but I want for everybody, the first 9 at least, to be as close to identical as possible. So keep thinking about pushing with the legs and keeping your arms straight as you do so. Almost there. Six to go. Oh, clouds are coming and going today. 3, 2, 1. So if you have the option to set your monitor to show you your average 500 meter split pace for each interval, which you can do by pressing the units button, it should then give you a time and say AV 500 on a concept 2. Then try and have your finishing pace identical through this session, is all I'm saying. Are you still recording? Yes, good. Quick check for the sound department. They're very lazy. Right, 15 seconds to go until interval 3. 10 seconds. Well, I forgot to have a drink. Hope you didn't. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, let's continue. Now that we're into interval 3 with a little bit more technique detail. I mentioned in the drills in the warm-up that you want your back to be swinging forwards and backwards. So you lean into the front to, well, in the 11 o'clock position as you're looking at me on this video. And then you hold that forward lean, much like you hold your arms straight until your legs are pretty much halfway done. And that is when you finally transition by swinging over your hips from that forward lean to a opposite backward lean. Now you don't want to go too far back, just 11 till 1, or from the other side, 1 to 11. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So, the iPad holder, something I was sent by the people that make it. I'll put a link in the description. Surprisingly easy to fit. iPad seems to be quite stable there. You do have to sit the monitor arm to kind of vertical, if not slightly backwards. Otherwise it might fall out, which is a little bit alien for me, but get used to it by now. The only downside is that because I've got ErgZone running with a black screen and it's so bright, all I can see is my own reflection. Oh, hello. Cat supporter. 10 seconds to go until interval 4. And I forgot to drink again. You okay? Oh. 3, 2, 1, go. That's a very... Oh, that's a cat that's eating grass. That's okay, you can tell. That is the yowl of a cat that has decided that she doesn't like the contents of today's lunch and has therefore eaten a whole bunch of grass in order to heard about rowers needing sick buckets for the end of a 2K, but needing one for your audience, even if it is a cat, not quite heard of. So keep on holding your desired pace. We're not into the halfway point yet, so this should still just be feeling not that much tougher than when you started today's row. Just make sure to think about keeping those arms straight as you push with the legs, because that's how you make sure to get the power out from your legs. If you pull with your arms too early, you'll end up fighting against that power. 2, 1. There we go. So yeah, iPad thing seems fine. When I saw it and they got in touch with me about it, I thought it might be too low. I just kind of said to him, I'm like, oh, I'm a bit worried that you'll be watching it like this. But actually, it's at the perfect height. And I mean, my main PM5 is maybe an inch higher than normal, but if you're going to set your monitor higher or lower, higher's better, because that will help your posture, which I'll talk about in the next interval. Okay, 10 seconds to go until interval 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know if it's the 20-degree Glasgow heat, but I'm starting to get quite hot, sweating a lot. Anyway, posture. This is probably the next most important part after pushing with your legs and keeping your arms straight, is that you make sure you have a powerful posture. So you want to be up on your sit bones, okay? And as you lean in, it's with your hips tilting forwards, not your back curving and rolling in. So nice and powerful. I'm not talking plank of wood straight, I just mean sitting up your sit bones, powerful back, braced core, ready so that as you push with the legs, all the power just goes through your posterior chain into your arms. And then as you swing over your hips, keep that powerful posture into the finish. One more. There we go. So, no, you're not curving from the lower back at the front or reaching from the upper back. And you're also not slumping down at the back either. Make sure to drink. Yeah, you want to be powerful at the back. If you're slumped, hips rolled back and tailbone tucked underneath you, then you're risking injury. You'll be losing power and you won't set yourself up right for the next stroke. Okay, 10 seconds to go. We're at the Bon Jovi point. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, here we go then. Interval 6. Make sure to get back up to pace that you need to be at. Hold your pace through this workout, remember. We are halfway there after all. It's the Bon Jovi point. Whoa, whoa, we're halfway there. It's important that you're holding your pace through this. You should see the end in sight in a kind of comfortable, you know you can do it way, regardless of your intensity. Even if you're at the max power intensity, you should still know that you can complete it and that you're not having to back off pace or anything. So carry on, push with the legs, forwards, lean over your hips, tilted forwards, hold that position with straight arms as you push the machine away from you. 3, 2, 1. That was quick. So yeah, now at the halfway point, for the mid and top tier people, you may be feeling a little bit ragged now. But the 1 minute rest should give your body time to reset. I mean, it's only 2 minutes worth of work we're doing at a time, so it shouldn't be too hard to get through that 2 minutes and then wait for this 1 minute rest. I mean, it's for only 2 minutes work, 1 minute rest is really luxurious. Okay, 10 seconds to go until interval 7. Pick up your handle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Remember how I set out the intensities at the beginning. To the bottom tier people, although 2K plus 12 is a little hotter than I normally row a bottom tier at, because you're getting this 1 minute rest, the intensity and your heart rate, etc., shouldn't really be getting up there. For the beginner folks and the mid tiers, you should find it's getting progressively more and more interesting, let's say, to be able to hold on. But that 1 minute rest, like I say, should reset you so that there's absolutely no question as to whether you can manage this workout or not. And then top tier folks, you'll probably be really feeling the intensity by now. But again, that 1 minute rest is enough to reset you so that you get at least 3/4 of the next interval feeling okay before it starts to feel really tough. Last stroke. That's the beauty of the 24s, is that you can attach these different paces to it to configure how intense your workout is going to be. And regardless of what one you're doing, paying attention to how your body is reacting to this lets you know where you are for pacing. So if you found this instantly tough from the start and you were doing the top tier workout, you probably went out too hard. But then if you're feeling this nice, good heart rate, good breathing pattern for the bottom tier, you probably got it bang on. Okay, interval 8 coming up in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, so far, as far as your arms are concerned, all I've really said is keep them straight, but obviously your arms have to come in to a strong finish. So once you initiate that swing over your hips,
that's when you'll feel the urge to transfer the power from your backswing into the handle by pulling powerfully into the chest. Now, get those elbows through, and whether you are the kind of person that goes straight through, like me, or whether you have a slight flare out, is just down to how you've been taught. I prefer straight through because it uses my lats. Flaring out uses my shoulders, which are like a fifth of the size and more likely to get injured from overuse. 3, 2, 1. So yeah, if you come through, your lats get the work. If you come out, for me anyway, it's all up here. And as being, I have shoulder problems to start with, I'd rather not do that. But must be said, on the water folks tend to do that coming out bit, all for feathering the oar and stuff. But do you see any water? No, ergs don't float. So okay, we're almost there. 15 seconds to go until interval 9. Only got 2 more to go. Walk in the park. 10 seconds to go. Pick up your handle, get comfy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. There's something amiss with my old monitor. It keeps on pausing at the 4 seconds mark. Wonder whether I need to update the firmware or something. Or maybe it's an erg zone thing. Who knows? Yeah, just to close off the iPad thing. It's quite handy having it there. I've only got erg zone on screen right now, and like I said, my reflection. Hi. But I could see it being valuable if I was doing a marathon and wanted to watch a movie. It's actually at a good height. So, and I mean, this is the first time I've ever clipped an iPad up to the machine, so I'm not really comparing it to other options. I just know this one works. iPad isn't vibrating or looking in danger of falling, so it looks like it's a 3D print thing, so can't be too expensive to buy. Brings up the question, does that make this a paid promotion if this was sent to me for free? Probably does, eh? I better check that box on YouTube. But yeah, it does the job. I'm not really the type to watch movies and things during a row though, so it's a little bit lost on me. Okay. Now remember, if you want to try and squeeze as much pace as you can out of this last 10th interval, by all means do. I'm going to be holding it at my 2k plus 8. 10 seconds to go. Pick up your handle, wiggle your butt. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Now the last thing, technique-wise, especially if you are gunning for this, is to make sure your compression at the front is right. So you want to slide forwards enough for your shins to be vertical. Try not to fall short of vertical for a start, as you won't be able to get all the power in. But also, try not to go past vertical, as that's where power leaks lie. It's where you're so compressed at the front that your butt kind of escapes from underneath you. And one way to make sure that doesn't happen is to really focus on there being no pause between your recovery and the drive. It's really easy to hold it for even a 1/10 of a second and find your butt scooting out from under you. So really, in, drive, okay? No pause. Almost there. 5 strokes to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, give it another minute and then we'll jump into a 2-minute cool down. So, regardless of what intensity you did that at, I hope it hit where you wanted it to. Remember, bottom tier is not meant to be a tough workout. You should almost feel like you can just do all that again. But that's the point. Low heart rate, low intensity, builds fitness. Mid tier should have been tough. You should have had to kind of push to continue, but no, you continued. And top should have felt really tough that you really had to push through in order to keep going, not just finish, but to just keep going. So, okay, let's kick into our 2-minute cool down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, just a mirror of the warm up, around about 18 strokes a minute. If you're doing the top tier, you might want to roll this at around about 2k plus 20, let your heart rate ease itself down. All the other people, around about 2k plus 30 will do, just enough that you are connecting with your legs and your arms so that your muscles are winding down to a stop instead of just stopping, which can basically just cause the acids, the byproducts of your muscles burning fuel, put it that way. If you don't cool down, those byproducts, free radicals and stuff, can just sit in your muscles, and then that's what causes pain the next day. Sometimes it is literally because you've worked so hard, but even for the bottom tier easy rows, you need to cool down. Just get in the habit of it. Decouple your head, decouple your body, Nice, of course, you're at the gym and there's someone waiting to get on. You might be getting a bit stressed at this point, but we're almost done with the cool down, and then you can unclip your phone and go listen to my outro while you do some stretching. Which, actually, should I do? I'll try and, no, I actually won't. I'll do a separate video on stretching. Anyway, here we are again. One of my outros. No, it's fine. So anyway, I hope this is okay. Rolling in the review of the iPad's a bit strange, but why not? It gives me something to talk about if nothing else. I will do a standalone video about how it attaches, a link to the guy and all that kind of stuff. Maybe that one I'll do the paid for promotion. This one I'll just leave alone. But yeah, so that's today's workout. Really hope that it hit the mark that you needed it to hit. If you did do one of the Speed Junkie top tiers, then make sure that your next session is a slower recovery row, okay? Even if you did the mid-tier one, then the next one should probably be a slow one as well. If you did the bottom tier foundation row, feel free to do a mid or a top tier workout next. You can select from, I think I've got currently well over 200 workouts on this channel, so go find one that seems interesting. Even if it's one from within the 2K or 5K plans, you can just do it. You don't have to do the whole plan, just do the one row. And you can get a taste of it. And if you don't know anything about the 2K training pace, then do check out the info I have on the YouTube channel. Same with the drag factor on a Concept 2 and all that jazz. Leave me comments, leave me smoke signals, leave me whatever you wish. Let me know how you get on with today's row. Obviously, I make these because you row these, so it's always good to know how you get on with them. All right, that's it. We're all done. Last thing is hashtag. Let's just do hashtag summer. I don't think I've done that, because I think we can officially say that right now, even if for one day it's summer in Glasgow. So either hashtag summer or hashtag summer in Glasgow, your choice. That's it. We're all done. Stay safe. Be well. Bye-bye.